everybody. Welcome to Bestie Book Reviews. I'm here with my bestie, Mandy.
And I'm here with my bestie, Jessica.
So it's that time again. It's time for those 1-minute book recs, but this is like our last one for the year, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
I think that is our last 2025 1-minute book recs.
I know.
But our next one will still have some books from 2025 in it.
Yeah, but this is the last one that we're putting
in 2026.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, so for those who don't know, because we do have quite a few new people, this is where we go over all the books we read in the last week with 1-minute synopsis, or close enough to that, for each book. So let's talk about our reading week.
Let's.
Okay, how was yours?
My reading week was pretty good. I read 14 books, but I have 15 to talk about because I forgot one last week.
Okay, I have 10, but I know that one of them we both read.
Yes.
Which we didn't realize
we discovered by accident when we were talking the other day.
We did. So so I have 10, which means you get to go first.
Yay. I'm so incredibly lucky.
Oh, you are. Mm-hmm. Oh, and by the way, Mandy isn't feeling very good. And I have been cleaning my bookshelves, and reorganizing all day today, and I gave up. I just gave up. I'm like, I'll do the rest tomorrow. So I'm actually sitting on the floor recording this because I gave up.
I reorganized all of mine.
Now
I'm very excited about
I still have 3 more shelves to get through.
And this is the first time I've been sick in like 8 or 9 months. So I've had like a headache or allergy issues, but like actually being sick, it's the first time. So I'm feeling pretty good about that.
Yeah.
Especially since I'm an elementary school teacher.
Yeah, and you get all the credit. So, okay, Let's talk about your first book.
Okay, my first book is the one that I forgot to talk about last week, and that is Cash by McKenzie Fox. So this is, oops, I'm not talented enough I messed up my timer there. Okay. This is by McKenzie Fox, and it is the first book in the New Orleans Rebels series. It's MC. I don't know if I said that. So this is about Deanna and Cash. So Cash is, I feel like he's the president, because now I'm going back like 2 weeks in my reading. And his best friend's daughter, who is in her mid-20s, is having some issues with a guy she was dating who's just like full on stalking her. So his best friend wants her to come stay with him, which is a few states away, to get away from this guy. And so Deanna, and I think maybe she's only like 22 or 23. She might be in her earlier 20s because I think she was still in college. But she's out of college. She was 26. And anyway, so her and her friend go to stay with him just for like the weekend, and then her friend leaves, and then she's staying with him the whole time. And because I remember she was in her mid-20s, because it kind of irritated me that it felt like they were treating her like she was a college kid and like needed her parents to intervene in all of this and be dictating what should and shouldn't be happening and stuff. So again, reminder, this is his best friend's daughter. And so he starts to develop feelings for her. She's always had like a crush on him in like the, oh, you're really hot type way. And so things quickly escalate. I rated it 3. I just didn't really, I don't know. It just didn't really work for me. I didn't care for the fact that she was being like micromanaged, but not in like, that wasn't really the plot, that she had these like overbearing, controlling parents or something. You know what I mean? Like that. It just didn't work for me very well. So it was a 3. I liked it, but I just didn't love it.
Okay.
Next.
All right. Well, last week I was trying to finish Ruby Dixon's Fire Blood Dragon series. I knew I only had 2 left, so I did that this week. I finished those 2 out. So the first one I picked up. I know. Is Fire in Her Dreams, again by Ruby Dixon. This is book number 9 in the Fire Blood Dragon series. So this is about Jenny and Maul. So Jenny is in Fort Dallas, and she's a part of the Panty program that we talked about last week. And she's been having really, really horrible dreams, like dreams about these weird aliens, alien bugs, and things that showed up in the book before, but things coming through the rift that are going to hurt everybody. And what she also has noticed is one of the sentient dragons, one of the dragons that are kind of under the spell of the guy who's running this fort, who are just kind of, they're under his mind control, so they don't have, they can't think for themselves, is kind of waking up. And she's also having dreams of somebody who is this big golden person in her dreams who's scaring away all the bugs. Well, that turns out to be Maul. And when he sees her, he kind of comes out of that brainwashing mind control thing and realizes she's his mate, and off they go in their adventure. So this was their story. I gave it 4 stars. It was entertaining.
Sorry. I'm a mess over here.
I know. It's okay. You don't feel good.
Okay.
Okay. Next.
Okay. My next one is an ALC I got. This is The Mysterious One by Marni Mann. It comes out on December 29th, which is the day this video comes out if you're watching it the same day. It is narrated by Jason Clark and CJ Bloom. So we have Walker. He is part of the Weston group. So this is the 3rd book in that series. So Walker is the brother that's the chef. And he is like real, like known around the world for his chef skills. And he has like cookware and cookbooks, and like he's like a top chef in the world, in the industry. But he has lost his passion for cooking, and he is just flat out angry. He is not liking the pressure of this, and he's just really feeling very frustrated with his family. And we have Elvia, who is trying to save money to get out of her really bad home life. She's 22. She still lives at home with her mom and her mom's husband. Her mom's husband is an ass and like basically shakes her down every day for money. And like if she eats food, he's like, you obviously have money if you could get food. And like it's just a really horrific, toxic situation that she's living in. And so she is trying to pick up a second job without him knowing so she can save money to move out. And so she gets a job at the hotel restaurant where Walker is the chef. But prior to that, prior to her starting, she gets a notification from an app that somebody has matched with her at like 100%. And so she takes the guy up on his offer of like a night together in a hotel. He gets her own room and all of that. So they spend a wonderful night together and kind of click, but neither one of them are looking for something because they both are kind of dealing with their own messes. And then so she shows up to her first day of work and is surprised to see that he is the chef there. So Jason Clark does a fantastic job with narrating this one because like this is like Gordon Ramsay level anger of shouting. And so he does a great job of like conveying that. But then when he's able to like tap into that like softer side too, it was really good. I rated it 5 stars. I loved it.
Good.
That's why I talked so much. I'm sorry.
Could just be that you're not feeling good and you're not on your A game. It's okay.
I felt like I was on my A game. Thanks.
Oh, no, I was just giving you an excuse in case you needed one. No, I was just trying to help you out there. Okay, let's quickly move on. That's not what I meant. Okay,
now I'm gonna cry.
Blow your nose. That's an excuse to blow your nose on camera. Okay.
I'm not blowing my nose. I'm crying because you're being mean.
Oh no, here we go. Okay, it's okay. I wasn't. Okay, so the next book I read is Ravaged Wolf by Kate C. Wells. This is number 6 in her 5-pack series. This time we see a different pack. This one lives like they live in high-rise buildings. They're not in touch with their wolf. They're not in touch with nature. But we see Izzy. She is the daughter to I wouldn't call them elite, but they're moving up. Like they're an upper middle class family. And her dad's about to get this promotion when she realizes that Trevor is her mate. Now he lives in the building with them because they all live in one big building. But he is on the lower levels and he is not as, his family's not as prominent as hers. And so her family is having a really hard time coming to grips with the fact that this is who her mate is. Now she's about to have her first cycle, her first heat for these wolf shifters. And so her dad is telling her that she needs to wait a few weeks before, so that he can get this promotion he's up for before she goes and, hangs out with the riffraff, basically. And so she and Trevor put off their mating for a while. Well, this causes him to go into a rut. It causes her to get really sick. And then one day when she goes out to see him, he ends up attacking her. And then he gets exiled because basically it's like he raped her. And so he has an insane amount of guilt over that. And she just wants her mate. Bless you. She just wants her mate, but sorry. She just wants her mate, but they're kept apart. She's trying to reconcile what he did to her with the person she knows who him to be. And so fast forward, I think it's like 3 years, and then she ends up running into him again, and they have to work through all of this. I gave it 4 stars. I really liked this one. The one before this I didn't care for as much, but I really like this one. It does have a little bit more of a darker feel to it because of the things that happen, but I loved it. Next.
Okay.
Okay.
So my next book was a Christmas read before Christmas, so I'm still going to talk about it. So this is A Holiday Lift by Corinne Michaels. I didn't even know this book existed, and it popped up in my Amazon suggested thing, and I was like, oh, a holiday book by Corinne I haven't read. I shall read this. So this is a novella. It's about Holly and Dean. They don't really get along, and they end up trapped in an elevator during a snowstorm together. And the rest is history. Again,
Okay.
it is a it is a novella, so it was a very quick Christmas read.
Yeah.
Okay. I rated it 4 stars for the quick Christmas read.
Okay. All right.
Also, I would never want to get stuck in an elevator.
No. I'm not even claustrophobic, and I wouldn't be stuck in an elevator.
No.
Thanks. Ugh, it sounds like it'd be really hot and gross. And
so kudos for Corinne for making that
fear,
taking that bad situation
and making it into a good one. Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, the next book I read is the last one in the Fire Blood Dragon series. This is Darkfire. This is book number 10. This one was very interesting because we actually got, this is Azar's story, and he has basically been kind of not necessarily the bad guy, but yet a bad guy this whole time, or he's been somebody that we've been watching because he's a Silurian, which are the people that enslaved the dragon people when they were in their home world, and so nobody likes him. And he runs Fort Dallas, but he is like a dictator. And again, everybody's a little weirded out by this guy. He's got some issues. He's got some very odd quirks. But he has fallen for Melina, and she is a medic at this fort, and he knows that he wants her. Like, that is his person. But he is not a great guy, and she puts him through his paces, and she's not just going to accept him. And he wants to be a good guy for her, but but he's not a good guy. It just isn't. I gave it 4 stars. It was, I can't give too much. I give too much away if I talk about anything else for these, but I did like seeing his arc there. So, and I'm done with that series now. It is complete.
The series is complete?
Yeah. She is putting out a new dragon book this winter, I think. It's in this world, but it's not a part of the series.
Oh, so a new dragon series.
A new book, at least.
How exciting.
For me, yes.
All right. Okay. So next, I had said that there were several books in the reading your favorite books of 2025 series that we did, or not series, but that convincing we did. I said there were several that I wanted to read from that. And so one of those is Fangirl Down by Tessa Bailey. So I did listen to that because Tessa Bailey tends to always write in third person. And I don't like reading third person, but I can listen to it. So Tessa Bailey's books, I always really enjoy when I listen to them. So I listened to this. The audio is great for it. So this is about Josephine and Wells. Wells is a pro golfer, and Josephine is like his #1 fan, but he has not been doing very well. And he kind of has a little bit of a breakdown. He takes her like sign that she's holding in the crowd and rips it up and just kind of freaks out. And she's like a little devastated because she's like, he's been somebody she's, cheered on for many, many years. And her family owns a pro golf shop, and she really knows her stuff about golf. Well, he is basically kicked out of the tour, and like, he's going to be a washed up golf pro, basically, is where he's at. So he goes and finds her and asks her if she will be his caddy. And if
Sorry.
if he's successful, he will share the prize money with her. So she agrees. So they go on the golf thing together because the pro shop is struggling a little bit. And so she could really use the money. And so she tries to inspire him to be the great golfer that she knows he can be.
Okay.
I rated it 4 stars. I enjoyed it.
Okay, good. All right. Well, I had a lot of cooking to do on Christmas Eve and on Christmas Eve.
Congratulations.
Thanks. And none of the books were sounding good. Like, I didn't want to start a new book because I was so busy cooking that, like, I needed to be able to focus. So I had a hankering for good Mafia, and I did a reread of Broken Whispers by Neva Altaj because it's a good one, and I like this one. So this is about Mikhail and Bianca. This is the second book in her Perfectly Imperfect series. So for those who haven't read it, everybody has something that makes them imperfect. And so for this one, Mikhail he wears an eye patch and he has a bunch of scarring. Bianca is a ballerina. She doesn't talk because of an accident that happened. But Mikhail has watched her for quite a while as a ballerina. He kind of has a thing for her. When he finds out that she's Italian Mafia, they're Bratva, and the families want to make an alliance. And so his pecan comes to him and says, somebody needs to marry this girl, and he doesn't want to see anybody else marry her. So he steps up to the plate and says, no, I want to marry her. That one's mine. And then we see their story play out. He's very standoffish. He doesn't like to be touched. He's got some issues, but she's able to just barge right in there for him. So I really enjoyed the reread. I gave it 5 stars the first time around. I stand by that. So
you finished before the timer went off?
I'm good with that one anyway. Okay.
All right.
What's next?
Okay. Next, again, before Christmas, I read In a Holidaze by Christina Lauren. So this one is a little different for a holiday read. So we have May's family and another family. They go and spend like Christmas every year together in this cabin in Utah. And May is like in her 20s, and she gets a little drunk on eggnog and makes out with Theo. But she's secretly for 13 years had a crush on Theo's brother Andrew, but she doesn't feel like that's going to be reciprocated. So for whatever reason, she drinks too much eggnog and makes out with Theo. And then she's headed home. They're going to the airport. They get in a car accident and the car is spinning out of control. And all of a sudden she wakes up and she's on a plane headed back to Utah to relive the whole thing again. And so she's it's like a Groundhog Day situation where she's just kind of reliving that over and over again. And she's trying to figure out how to make the whole situation right. And somehow finally confess to Andrew how she feels about him. So I enjoyed it. I rated it 4 stars.
Okay. So the next book I wanted a historical. I wanted a Western. I got something kind of in between. So I mean, I'm going to call this book historical. I'm sorry, I just am. So I read Baby Love by Katherine Anderson. And I'm going to tell you guys, I don't think it was intended to be historical, but when nobody has cell phones, they're using payphones, and somebody was driving a, not a Volkswagen, what do you call it? The wagon things, Mandy.
Hatchback?
No, the old cars that everybody had. A station wagon. You don't even see those around anymore. So I'm going to say that,
people have station wagons still. They're wildly popular.
Not like this kind of station wagon, the way it was described. No, this is like old, like, I'm sorry. It was a historical. It probably took place in the 80s. Anyhow, And I love how to say that. This is about Maggie and Rafe. So Maggie is on the run. She has a newborn baby. She leaves in the middle of the night and she gets onto a rail car to ride in this train to get away from an abusive situation. When she gets into the rail car, that is where she sees some guys riding the rails, some hobos, and one of them is Rafe. And he is a drunk. He's been dealing with the loss of his wife and children a few years earlier. And somebody tries to attack her that night in the car and he saves her and the baby. And then they end up going to this town. She has no food. She has no diapers. She lost her diaper bag on the ground when she was trying to get into the car, the rail car. And so he ends up taking care of them. She's very skittish. And then that leads to a marriage of convenience because he's actually a millionaire. He just kind of left it all to go ride the rails. My great grandfather was a hobo and did that. He rode the rails before he became a minister. Very interesting. Anyhow, so this is their story. I think it was a little bit longer than it really needed to be. I still enjoyed it. I still gave it 4 stars, just a little bit longer. So I did enjoy the story quite a bit though. Next.
Okay. So one of the series I said I needed to finish was Queens and Monsters. I've only read the first one, so I decided to get going on that. So I read Carnal Urges by J.T. Geissinger. And this is the second book in the series. So Sloane is the best friend of the girl in the first book, and I can't think of her name off the top of my head, who is with Cage. Cage is like the mortal enemy of Declan. Declan kidnapped, or he is now the head of the Irish Mafia, but sort of like it wasn't something he intended. Like he just kind of ended up there, like reluctantly a little bit. So he kidnaps Sloane, and Sloane is not quite what he was expecting when he kidnaps her. And so there's like a lot of banter and because it's a mafia romance, there's a lot of sexual tension between the two of them, even though he's kidnapped her. And I was going to talk about something that happens, but I feel like it's a little bit of a spoiler. So I think I'm just going to leave it at that. It's mafia, it's kidnapping. What more do we need to talk about, right?
Yeah, and that was my favorite in the series.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah, what did you give it?
I gave this one 4 stars.
Okay.
But you rated the other one higher.
I don't know. It's been years. But that is the one that sticks with me. That is my favorite. I might have rated it higher at the time, I guess. If I remember right. It's been so long. But that's the one that sticks with me. So, speaking of things that stick with me, since I read the second book in Neva Altaj series, I can't like not read the third book because it is my favorite in the series. Like it really, really is. And that is Hidden Truths. So I re-listened to this one while cooking on Christmas Eve. Hidden Truths. This is Sergei and Angelina's story. So this is the one. So Sergei is the crazy one. He is unhinged. He has been a part of a government program where he was trained to kill when he was really young, and it messed him up. And so he has these moments where he like spaces out and nobody can touch him. Nobody can go near him. And one day he's also like, he wants a tank. He blows things up. It's like a whole thing. He's just, this guy is something else. Like it makes you laugh, honestly. I really liked him. But one day they hear that there are these drugs coming over from Mexico in this truck, and it's his job to blow up the truck. But when he goes to blow up the truck with the drugs, they know there's a girl on the truck, so they go and find the girl. Well, he's the one that finds her, and that's Angelina. She is actually a cartel princess, and she is stowing away in that truck, pretending to be somebody else because she's having to get away from the man who killed her father, who now is trying to force her into a marriage. When he sees her, he immediately is like, yep, that one's mine. And he takes her home. And she's like the only one that can come around him when he's in these crazy moments. And she'll be like, just talking to him about her ugly pajamas that he bought her, and he'll come out of it, which is very interesting because everybody's telling her to stay away. Loved it. This is my favorite. I love this one so much.
Okay. Well, next I have my last Christmas book of the season, which is wow.
That's the one we both read, right?
No, I guess I have two
Okay,
holiday
then
books.
your turn. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So this is How to Lose a Guy Before Christmas by AJ Pine, and it is an Audible original. It's done by Andy Arndt and Jason Clark. So we have Lucy, who is trying to get home for Christmas and her flight is canceled. And so as a last minute idea, she tries to find a rideshare service, and so she finds somebody who's going the same direction she's going to, and so she gets a ride with this person. Well, it turns out that this is Eric, a guy that she had hooked up with about a month prior and then ghosted. And Eric is not happy about the fact that she ghosted him, and they are now stuck on a long drive together. So I will leave it at that. It is an Audible original. It is shorter. I rated it 4 stars. I enjoyed it for what it was.
I think I read that one last year.
You read it a couple years ago.
2 years ago. I remember being in the
I
hospital
saw
with my
that.
daughter when I read it. Like we were in California at the hospital. That's why it sticks out. So I did read it. Maybe it was 2 years ago because she wasn't in the hospital. We weren't in California last year. It was the year before. Yes, I did.
You did. I was like,
I
oh,
did.
this is when it showed up when I went to market as read, as that you had
But I
read
read
it. I
it.
was like,
Mhm.
how interesting. Little Miss I
Mhm.
Don't Like Holiday Books read
I
this.
don't, but we might have been doing like a holiday video where I had to. So there's one. Now I did the next book I read is a holiday book. So let me tell you guys about this. I read this one on Christmas. I was really looking forward to this one. And let's just talk about it. So this one is You're a Mean One, and it's by Absinthe or Absinthe. And this is like a Grinch retelling, kind of. So this is about Mary Martha, who I think is supposed to be our heroine. I'm still confused about that one. And the Grouch. And then Max, his dog, is a woman that he bangs a lot. But he still has a thing for Mary Martha. They live in Horseville, not Whoville. And this is supposed to be a dark romance / erotic horror. I really don't think I want to spend any more time on it. I gave it 1 star. I cannot believe that she ended it the way that she did. I cannot believe that you market this as dark romance. It was bullshit, is what it was. It was a pile of bullshit. So, next. Don't waste your time on it, guys.
Wow. Interesting.
I'll tell you what happened at the end when we get done. That made me mad. The writing wasn't bad. It was a lot of banging.
Oh,
But...
there's your timer.
Okay.
Okay. So I am still diligently working on our 10, which was actually 15 until the end.
Oh, I'm glad you are, because I'm not. Okay.
And so I read Rogue by Katie Ray.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I read Ranger by her and really, really loved it. So I was excited to get this book from her when we met her. And so we have Quinn and Beck. They are both in the Navy together. Quinn flies planes that land, or is it the Air Force? No, they're on a ship, so it has to be the Navy. But Quinn flies the planes that land on the deck. And Beck is in charge of the cables that catch the plane as it's landing, and something goes wrong, and Quinn almost dies. And he then has he hates Beck from this moment forward. And so they do not get along because Beck is pissed at him for blaming him for this and not being quiet about it. And then we have Avery. Avery is on the ship undercover, and she's pretending that she's writing like a manual while she's there. And her and Quinn and Beck, like, both of them want her and she wants both of them, but they still hate each other. And before the book is over, everyone's doing each other, even though they hated each other. I really liked Ranger. This book was just not, I rated it a 3. There were parts where I was like, okay, this is better. And then I just had a really hard time with like, if I could overlook a lot of other things, I just couldn't overlook, like, why all of a sudden these two guys, who she is off limits to, and she's supposed to be there as a professional investigating people because she's undercover, is giving, like, risking all of that for not just one guy, but two guys, and the two guys hate each other, but then all of a sudden they're down with each other
Mm-hmm.
where they never have been before. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't, I don't know. It was a 3.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you feel like somebody's watching you?
No.
Bailey, what are you doing? You don't. Okay. Well, I'm glad that you enjoyed that.
That's not what I said.
I know. That's why I gave you the look.
Oh, this would be a good time to talk about something.
Yes. Oh, do it.
Yes. So if you have not hit that subscribe button, we would love for you to do that. We have some amazing, like, really exciting things planned for 2026.
Yes.
We will be announcing that in our 3-year anniversary video.
Mm-hmm.
So you definitely want to subscribe to be here for next year.
Yeah, you do.
In addition to all the good book videos we have coming for you, we have some really exciting stuff planned that we are very excited about. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you have not given us any questions that you want us to answer in that celebration or anniversary video, you can do that below. And then we will be checking the videos, comments for those. And then I think I'll also do a post to make that a little bit easier too.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's talk about my next book because I kept going in Neva Altaj's world. Couldn't help it. So I read one of Mandy's favorites, and that is Ruined Secrets by Neva Altaj, because this one has amnesia, and if it has amnesia, Mandy's all about it. Yeah. So this is Luca and Isabella's story. So Luca is divorced. He is the new capo, or he's becoming the new capo for the Italian mafia. Isabella is the granddaughter to the capo, or the head, the don, not the capo, the don, of the mafia, who is dying, and he has to appoint somebody as his successor, and he appoints Luca. And when that happens, he tells his granddaughter that she needs to marry Luca. She was going to marry somebody else. She had an arranged marriage situation going on. And he's like, that one's null and void. I need you to marry Luca. I need you to, basically, we've trained you to be, we've raised you to be in this position your whole life. And so she's ecstatic because she has had a crush on Luca forever. Now he's quite a bit older than her, and he's like, she's a teenager. She's like 19. And he really has a hard time with that. And so he refuses to touch her, even though he's very, very attracted to her. And she's frustrated. She's upset that he wants, this is like her dream, like, to have him. When an accident happens and he loses his memory. And so when he wakes up from, everything that's happening to him, he wants to know who she is. And she's like, I'm your wife. And basically they play happy wife, happy husband. But what happens when he remembers? So, but that girl, she got hers. Okay. She figured out how to get her man. So a little amnesia didn't hurt.
Okay.
Next.
Okay. Speaking of amnesia, next I listened to Love and Warner by S.L. Scott. This is a new release that's coming out on the 29th, which is the day of this video. And it's narrated by Callie Dalton and Aiden Snow. So in this, we have Delaney, who goes to Warner. He is a billionaire, and he is in the process of buying out her family's restaurant, and her family is devastated by this. And so she goes to him to try and plead her case to get him to stop this. And he is kind of just an ass about it and doesn't care and walks out of the building. She chases him down this street, and he gets hit by a car. She hesitates on what the hell she should do, and then decides that she can't just leave him in the street. So she stays and goes with him in the ambulance to the hospital. When he wakes up, he has a little bit of amnesia. He remembers most things, but not basically like the day of the accident and maybe like a week or so. But there's parts of his memory that are a little fuzzy for him. So because Delaney has been staying there at the hospital, they have started to act as if she is his wife. And so she just kind of steps into that role and tricks him a little bit. But he basically knows that she's not being honest and forthcoming. And they end up going back to his house while he recovers. And once I got past that it wasn't going to be amnesia where he really believes that they're married, I started to enjoy it a lot more. I was kind of hung up on the fact that he basically knew that she wasn't being honest with him, but then he would get a little like wasn't quite sure about some things. And like the fact that nobody else like stepped in and was like, wait, you're not married. Like I just struggled a little bit with that.
Mm-hmm.
I rated it 4 stars. I did enjoy it. I just had to get past that what
Yeah.
my preconceived notions of what an amnesia story was going to be like.
Right. Okay. And that would bother me too. But I get it. So the next book I have is the one that we both read. So do you want me to talk about it with both of us on screen, or do you want me to talk about it and then pop back and you and I can talk about it together?
It doesn't matter, whatever you want to do. Is this
Okay.
book number 10 for you?
No.
I skipped a book somewhere and I'm trying to figure out what went wrong.
Oh, here. Well, I will talk. This is 9 for me.
Okay.
I will talk about it and then we'll come back together and talk about it. So while you look and figure out what you did. Okay. So this is Delightful Surprises by B. Sobjakken. So this is a novella. It is in part of her Immoral Starts series. This one had me because basically our heroine has a one night stand, or not even one night stand. It's a weekend in Costa Rica over a holiday, over Christmas, like 3 or 4 years prior. And she meets a guy there. They don't give each other the proper name, like their actual names, and they, bang it out all weekend long. Well, she gets home, finds out she's pregnant. They hire a PI, try to find this guy. But again, she and him both used not their real names the whole time. Well, now it is Christmas again. They're at the family's cabin. She and her mom are up there, and her sister is arriving and bringing her new husband that they haven't met. And lo and behold, when he gets there, she realizes it is the guy from Costa Rica who fathered her child. And then they get snowed in together. So let's talk about this one together.
Okay. My thoughts on this.
Mm-hmm.
When we interviewed Lola King, she talked about how she's the type of person that she doesn't think about like the characters that everybody else thinks about. She thinks about like at the beginning of a book or a movie when the guy is like dating someone else, what happened to that person?
Yeah.
I was thinking about that this whole time because the sister was really manipulative and wrong in many ways. But also Kayla, like, this is a little spoilery, just so people know. But they get snowed in together while the sister, Kendall, and the mom are in town with the 3-year-old. And so the two of them are stuck there for a couple days. And they immediately start going at it like rabbits, even though he is married to the
newly
sister.
married to the sister too. Like when you're in
and
the rabbit stage.
Before all the manipulation stuff even comes out.
Yes.
And I was like, I kind of feel for the sister if this is the type. And the mom, like, as a parent, I would think that you would be like pretty pissed at your kid. Like, what Kendall does isn't okay. But Kayla, I feel like, was way worse.
Yes.
And that's the name of the series, Immoral Starts. Like, we all know what we're reading about.
Right.
But I just couldn't help but think, like, if this is the environment that she's grown up in, no wonder she's pissed at her sister.
Well, and I had a hard time with it. I mean, I don't like to think about real life when I'm reading a book, but the whole time I was reading this, I was thinking about me and my sister. Like, this wouldn't even happen. This wouldn't even be a thing. We are not even attracted to the same kind of guys, first of all. But second of all, like, blood is blood, family's family. What are you doing? Like, I don't know. And to be married for like 2 months or less than 2 months and you're willing to stray already, like, what is wrong? And you didn't even invite your family to your wedding. Like, they've never even met the guy. So I gave it 4 stars. I still
I did
enjoyed
too.
it for what it was. I enjoyed it. There were just little things like that bothered me, but then I had to be like, you know what? It's a novella and it is what it is. And you've got to just kind of, suspend belief and go into it. But,
No, it didn't bother me as in I would like impacted how I enjoyed the book or anything. I
no.
was just thinking about Lola King and I'm like, this is where I'm going with this. Like
Yeah.
I feel for the sister here.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Same. So, and she was a manipulative bitch, but I still felt bad for her. So,
It just made me think if the mom was so quick to side with Kayla.
yeah, why?
And like maybe the sister was right in how she felt like she grew up in her sister's shadow.
But the thing of it is like, you and I both have 3 kids each. When they're fighting with each other, you don't take sides. When things like that happen, it's hard, but I don't know. My girls have been fighting a lot lately. And nobody's right in that situation. They're all wrong, if you ask me. So I don't know. Yeah. But, okay, let's move on. Talk about your next book.
Okay. So that would have been number 9 for me.
Okay.
So now I'm on number 10. Does this sound right?
Well, I'm about to talk about my number 10. So yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So my next book is, oh no. So wait, this would be number 11?
For you, yes.
Okay.
Because we talked about that one together.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
you're right.
So
Yeah.
I did talk about book number 10. I skipped that. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Whew, this is confusing. Okay, my next book is also an Audible original, and it's by AJ Pine. This one popped up when I read the Christmas one, and it had a fun title, so I decided I wanted to listen to it. And it's Love You Like It's 1999.
Okay.
So this is about Cate. Cate is driving home one day, and she sees a Blockbuster, and she's like, wait a minute. That building has been abandoned for a long time, and Blockbuster went out of business years and years ago. So she pulls in, walks into the Blockbuster, and time travels back to 1999. When she comes out of the store, next door is a 1-hour photo shop, and she goes in there and meets Jordan, who also has time traveled back there and has been there for a few years. He has no desire to go back to the present, but Cate is desperate to get back to the future, back to where she's supposed to be. So the two of them are kind of working together to help Cate meet that goal while maybe kind of falling for each other.
Okay.
I rated it 4 stars.
Okay. I don't know. If you could time travel back to 1999, would you do it?
I don't know, because there's things that I would like to do differently in 1999. But if
Yeah.
I did that, then that would probably greatly impact where I
Your
am
future.
now.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Would you?
There's some things that are positive about going back to 99. Just it's a lot more simpler way of living than what we have now. It's not as hectic. But again, we have families, so it makes a difference. No.
I don't want to relive anything necessarily. I would want to change some things, but then that would really, really impact my present. So then there's no
knowing
point.
what I know now, I would go find my husband sooner, but I don't know how we'd feel about it
in 99.
No, we were only 19. So he'd have been like, you're a baby. No. Anyhow, okay. Well, let's talk about my last book. So my last book is one that we got, I think we got this in Vegas when we were in Vegas. It's Rodeo and Juliet by Sinclair Kelly. This is a Why Choose Omegaverse cowboy situation going on here. This is about Juliet. She is a rodeo star. She is known as JJ West or something like that. She's got an ulterior personality that she uses alter ego for all of her rodeo stuff to keep her personal life private. And she's having a hard time. She's dealing with some stuff here, and she ends up having a one night stand with this guy that she meets in a bar, this cowboy, and then she doesn't see him again. And so she ends up pregnant. And about 4 years later, she's back home in her little small town when she knows that her lifetime rival is, or it's her ex-best friend, Cash, is coming back to town. Her grandmother and his grandfather have wanted them to get married for years. They even had like written on a napkin that that's what they were going to do. But he has come back to town with his two pack mates who are brothers, to buy some land and to right some wrongs. And that is when she runs into one of the guys that is in his pack. And that is the guy that she had the one night stand with. And that is the father of her child. I gave it 4 stars. I actually really like this one. So there you go. She was a badass in her own right too. So I liked that.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So it's all on you now. That was my last one.
Okay, so next I have The Sky at Night by Samantha Lovelock. So Ty is a rock star, and his dad has recently died, and he is not dealing with the whole situation well. He's spiraling. So he ends up going to this wellness retreat. And Hallie gets sent there by her mom, and she does not want to be there. And her mom, she's 18, and her mom is basically has never wanted to parent. Her dad is horrible. Like, it's just a really, really toxic, horrible environment that she's grown up in. Horrible things have happened to her, very traumatic. And her mom just doesn't want to deal with her, so she just takes her and drops her off here, basically. So she's a little bit bitter there. And their paths are going to cross here, and the two of them are both working through a lot of issues. She's got a lot of anger, he's got a lot of guilt, and so they have a lot of issues to work through as things unfold between the two of them. I enjoyed it. I rated it 4 stars. I was expecting it to feel a little more forbidden since they're both that like wellness thing, and she's only 18. He's not that much older than her. So it wasn't like that, but like just I thought that maybe it would go in that direction, and I didn't really get those vibes from it as much.
Okay.
Okay. Then I'm working on another series I need to read. So I read book number 2 in a series that you really like.
Okay.
So you can just talk about the book for me, I guess.
I don't know what book it is yet.
I'm kidding. I read Con by BJ Alpha. So book number 2 in the Secrets and Lies series. So Con is short for Connor, and Will is short for Willa, but she gets called Will, and it kind of annoyed me a little bit. Because Will feels like a masculine name to me. It took me a hot minute to get over it, but eventually I did. So we have Con, he's an interesting guy. So he has run back into a former fling, not even a fling, a fairly serious relationship that he had. And she had gotten pregnant. He did not want to deal with it. He gave her $2,000 and said, go take care of it, and basically disappeared. Well, when he sees her again, I think it's about 3 or 4 years later, and she has a kid who looks just like him, and he kind of loses his shit about this. His brothers are pissed at him for the way he handled the situation. They are not pleased at all. And he decides that, like, he's kind of does a 180 and decides that, like, she is now going to be his because she's in some serious trouble with the mafia, and the kid is going to be his now. So he brings them back to his house. There's cocaine out, all sorts of stuff, because Con has been living the bachelor life like on steroids, maybe would be a way to describe him. So a lot of stuff has to change for him, and there's going to be some growing pains. And it's going to be a mess for a little bit while he tries to figure all this out. And now that he knows that he has a kid, I will say he does try, though. He does try. I enjoyed it a lot. I rated it 4 stars.
Okay. Do you have more?
I do.
Okay.
Are you sure you don't want to go again?
I got nothing else to talk about right this second.
Okay. So, again, working on those series. So I went back to Queens and Monsters and read book number, book number 3 by J.T. Geissinger, Savage Hearts. So this is about Riley. Riley is Sloane from the book previous. It's her sister. They're kind of estranged. And Sloane calls and reaches out to her and wants to invite her to the wedding. And it's like private, like the private jet will pick you up, that sort of thing. So Riley's like, okay, I'll take this olive branch and come to your wedding. So Riley goes. When she gets there, someone is stalking her. He's watching her when she sleeps. She wakes up to this, and she's not really freaked out that much by the fact that Mal is there watching her. She has a bodyguard put on her by Sloane's, because Sloane's in the Mafia. And so Spider is her bodyguard now. What threw me in this book is that Spider gets his own point of view quite frequently in this book, as does Mal, as does Riley. So I was slightly concerned that I was getting myself into a love triangle situation, but I just knew to take Jessica's advice. And I'm like, well, obviously Mal is where it's going to be at because he's completely fucking unhinged. So I decided that is where we were going to end up. And I was correct. So he kidnaps her. And from it just gets really messy very quickly. And Mal does a lot of stuff to make sure she is going to be okay. I loved this one. This was my favorite so far. I rated it 5 stars.
I think you get Spider's POV because if I'm not mistaken, Spider is the hero in the next
book number 4. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think that's why you get so much of his POV. But
yes,
okay.
But it threw me when I first was reading
I can see that. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because I hadn't paid attention to who the book was. Like, I didn't read the back or anything. I'm just like, oh, next book.
Next book, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So. All right, and then the last book I read was a novella. Again, working on my series that I need to complete. So this is Ask Me Later by Lisa Suzanne. It is 0.5 in the Capital Kingsman's world. So I wanted to read No Commitment, but you need to read this book first. It gives you a little bit of backstory with Danny and Tyler. So basically Danny works at a concert venue. Tyler is in the Capital Kingsman band. They are playing there. He recognizes her from when they were both working at the same restaurant in LA. He had always had a crush on her. They decide to hook up while he's in town and do kind of a no commitment type thing. And that's what happens here. And then the next book is we do a time jump. So I am excited to continue on in that series. Okay, that should be, I hope, my 15 books and I didn't miss one again.
Okay. All right. Well, now you can wrap it up.
All right. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button and check back on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays for new videos from us, and also sometimes Wednesdays, which will have a Wednesday video at least the next couple upcoming Wednesdays for sure.
Yeah, this Wednesday will be fun for you guys. So check that out.
Yeah.
And thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one on Wednesday.